When a large Christmas cactus becomes crowded and overgrown, it may be time to separate it into several smaller pots. Dividing the plant at the right stage can help keep it healthy while encouraging the growth of new branches and more flowers during future blooming seasons. With a few simple ingredients you may already have in your kitchen, you can repot, propagate, and care for your Christmas cactus at home. I'll walk you through the entire process, from preparing the plant and rooting the cuttings to transplanting them and helping them recover afterward. Follow each step carefully so you don't miss any important details. Begin with a clean, sharp pair of scissors. Cut several sections from the mother plant, choosing cuttings with approximately 2 or 3 segments near the tip. The age of each segment matters. Select mature sections that aren't too young or too old. Very young segments usually contain a large amount of water, which can make them more likely to rot during propagation. Older segments often take longer to form roots and may not develop into strong, vigorous plants. Mature segments generally have the highest chance of successful rooting and can produce healthy young plants within a relatively short period. After collecting the cuttings, rinse them gently with clean water. This removes dust, excess plant sap, and any debris left on the surface after the segments were separated from the mother plant. Handle each cutting carefully while rinsing it. Avoid damaging the stem segments because these are the areas where new roots and shoots will eventually develop. Once they're clean, place the cuttings in a dry, well-ventilated area away from direct sunlight. Next, prepare a natural solution to support root development. For this step, you'll need 1 teaspoon of pure ground coffee. Coffee contains naturally occurring minerals, including potassium, magnesium, and nitrogen, along with organic compounds that can help stimulate faster root production. Start with a clean glass or container and add 1 teaspoon of ground coffee. Pour in approximately 500 milliliters of hot water. The heat helps release the nutrients and natural compounds from the coffee grounds into the water more quickly. Stir the mixture thoroughly so the coffee is even distributed. Cover the container and let the solution cool naturally. After about 3 hours, once it has cooled completely, pour the mixture through a strainer or filtering cloth. Remove all the coffee grounds and keep only the liquid. Add another 500 milliliters of clean water to dilute the coffee solution, then stir it well. What country are you watching from? It's amazing that plant lovers from different parts of the world can connect and learn together. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future Christmas cactus care tips. Pour some of the diluted coffee solution into clean glass. Place all the Christmas cactus cuttings in the liquid and allow them to soak for approximately 5 minutes. During this time, the cuttings can absorb the natural nutrients in the solution. The treatment also supports recovery and encourages new root development after they've been removed from the mother plant. Soaking the cuttings in the diluted mixture can also gently clean and soften the cut surfaces. This may help reduce the risk of bacteria infection during the early stage, when the exposed plant tissue is still especially sensitive. After 5 minutes, remove the cuttings from the solution. Arrange them on a clean tray or paper towel and allow the excess liquid to drain away before beginning the propagation process. Draining is an important step because it prevents too much moisture from remaining on the surface. If the cuttings stay excessively wet for too long, their tissue may begin to rot and fungal growth may develop during the early rooting stage. Allowing the cut ends to dry more thoroughly also gives the plant tissue time to stabilize before the cuttings are placed in their new growing environment. For this method, the Christmas cactus cuttings will be rooted in water. Use a simple hydroponic setup. Take a piece of soft foam and cut it into a circular shape. Use a marker to make several evenly spaced marks around the outer edge of the foam. Then, Carefully use a knife to create a small slit at each marked position. These slits will hold the cuttings securely throughout the rooting process. The foam keeps the cuttings evenly spaced across the surface, preventing them from overlap or pressing against one another. This allows every cutting to maintain consistent contact with the water. It also reduces unnecessary movement when the container is relocated or the water is replaced. A stable setup gives the young roots a better opportunity to develop firmly and grow more evenly during their earliest stages. Gently slide one cutting into each slit. Position it so that only a very small portion of the base extends below the underside of the foam. Don't allow too much of the stem to sit beneath the water. Keeping a large section submerged can increase the risk of rot. For more straightforward and effective plant care advice, remember to like the video and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so you won't miss future uploads, and share in the comments which plant you'd like to see next. Your support makes it possible to continue sharing useful gardening information with plant lovers everywhere. Once all the cuttings are secured, place the foam on top of glass filled with clean water. The small section extending beneath the foam should touch the water surface directly. This creates a consistently moist environment around the base of each cutting. The steady moisture encourages new roots to emerge while the upper portions of the cuttings remain exposed to enough air for proper respiration. This method is simple, has a high success rate, and makes it easy to watch the roots develop without using soil or any other growing medium. Placed in a bright, well-ventilated location that receives indirect light. Replace the water regularly to keep the rooting environment clean and support healthy growth. After approximately 1 month, the Christmas cactus cuttings should have developed numerous roots around their bases. At that point, they can be removed from the hydroponic setup and planted in individual pots. Christmas cactus grows best in a loose, aerated medium that drains effectively while still holding a moderate amount of moisture. Choosing the right mixture can significantly affect how quickly the young plants recover and begin growing after they're transplanted. For this planting medium, use a combination of garden soil and coconut coir. Garden soil supplies natural minerals, retains nutrients, and provides a stable, long-term foundation for root development. Coconut coir makes the mixture lighter and looser, improves drainage, and creates additional air spaces so the roots can breathe more easily. Combine approximately 50% garden soil with 50% coir. Mix the two materials thoroughly until the texture is even throughout. A loose, well-draining medium reduces the chance of root rot and creates favorable conditions for the young Christmas cactus plants to develop healthy new roots after transplanting. The balance between the garden soil and coconut coir also helps the mixture retain steady moisture for a long period. It prevents the medium from drying out too rapidly, while also keep it from remaining waterlogged for too long, either of which could interfere with the plant's ability to adjust. Once the growing medium is ready, you can begin the most important stage. Prepare a pot with adequate drainage holes. These openings allow excess water to escape instead of collecting around the roots, which helps reduce the risk of root rot. Spread a layer of the prepared growing mixture across the bottom of the pot. This will provide a foundation for the young root system. Place the rooted cutting in the center and adjust its position till it stands upright. Gradually add more growing medium around the roots until the plant is firmly supported. Press the mixture down too tightly. The roots still need a loose, aerated environment in order to continue developing properly. The Christmas cactus now has a stable growing space where it can establish itself, produce new stem segments, and prepare for beautiful flowers in the future. To provide additional nutrition during this stage of growth, use another simple kitchen ingredient, rice. Add 3 tablespoons of rice to a clean bottle or glass. Pour in approximately 5 milliliters of clean water and stir thoroughly. Continue stirring until the water becomes evenly cloudy and the fine rice particles are distributed throughout the liquid. As the rice soaks, B vitamins, amino acids, and several natural occurring minerals will gradually move into the water. Allow the rice to remain in the water for approximately 5 minutes. Then strain the mixture, removing all the solid rice and keeping only the liquid. The finished rice water is a gentle organic source of nutrients that can support a Christmas cactus while it's developing roots and producing new stem growth. Pour the strained rice water into a watering can. Should you run into any problems while caring for your plants, describe their condition in the comments so everyone can work together to find an appropriate solution. Apply the rice water directly around the base of the Christmas cactus. This allows the root system to absorb the available nutrients as efficiently as possible. When used regularly, the natural nutrients in rice water can help strengthen the roots, encourage new stem segments, and allow the plant to store energy for future flowering. Apply the rice water approximately once every 2 weeks. Combined with appropriate lighting and proper watering, this routine can help the Christmas cactus grow steadily and remain healthy. After only a few months, the small cuttings should have developed into a lush, vigorous plant filled with healthy new growth. The most exciting stage begins after the plant has fully adjusted to its new environment and the first flower buds start appearing. At first, the buds may look like tiny points forming at the ends of the stems. As time passes, they gradually become larger and develop into healthy, mature flower buds. Eventually, the flowers begin opening one after another, covering the tips of the stems with vivid, eye-catching color. From only a few simple cuttings, you can produce a beautiful Christmas cactus that looks vibrant, healthy, and full of flowers. The results show that a little patience, proper care, and a few basic ingredients can be enough to successfully propagate Christmas cactus and create attractive flowering plants for your home. Those color blooms are the perfect reward for all the time and attention you've given the plant. What do you think of this method for growing and propagating Christmas cactus? Have you ever rooted or cared for this plant using a similar process? Share your experience and remember to like the video, pass it along to other plant lovers. And subscribe so you won't miss more simple and effective tutorials about plant growth, propagation, and flower care.